Hey, it is your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We're zooming in and focusing in on a great viewer question, and that came up with really the topic of constantly feeling challenged by a narcissist or a psychopath. And challenged not in a positive way to direct and lead your life and being really kind of fulfilled, basically meaning in a state of happiness or really the absence of fear. There's a constant challenge, there's a constant abrasiveness, there's really a constant roughness with your relationship, meaning the insinuation that something that you are doing is snubbed off and not appreciated, accepted, or approved of. So it's a constant state of not being approved of. And if you are in a constant chronic state of being challenged by this person, and by challenged I mean constantly being questioned about what you are doing, it's almost like a constant feeling of paranoia, suspicion, or evaluation. Well, I have news for you, is that you are the boss of you. This other individual, the narcissist, the psychopath, hitherto now, you might have felt somewhat controlled or in a snared relationship with them. However, they are not the boss of you. You solely are the boss of you. Your emotions, your reactions, your opinions, your voice, and whether you allow them to be more important than you is an evaluation or a decision you have to arrive at for yourself, because what we find is that oftentimes the narcissist or the psychopath will have an overly domineering presence. And by domineering basically means bully, bossy, it's my way or the highway. There's no space for you to coexist. There's no opportunity for you to express yourself. There's no space in the relationship for you to vocalize, for you to feel, for you to be at ease. And oftentimes this is the very key thing, is that you need to experience the absence of fear, the absence of constantly being challenged in the relationship, because it's as if you enter that relationship constantly with your dukes up, constantly with a fist. And you're like pounding, the pounding heart, the pounding mind, the headaches, and really sort of tolerating of this has become really when you have tolerated too much. In other words, your standard, your self-imposed limit or level of what you have tolerated has been overridden by this individual. In other words, hitherto now, and unbeknownst to you, perhaps subconsciously, you have permitted this person to overstep your boundaries, overstep your bounds, and make your space basically so small, and them really, the bigger picture. And it's time for you to make your interests, your peace, your harmony, the bigger picture. And this begins oftentimes with the absence of fear, the absence of the constantly being challenged. Once you can begin to get to that space and begin to release the fear, release the judgment, the measuring stick with which the narcissist or psychopath constantly holds next to you, above you, beyond you, whatever it is, let that go. Let that evaluation go. Do not allow them to define you or keep a measuring stick, oftentimes that is based in a foundation of fear, trepidation, anxiety. So rather than having this as your measuring stick, let that go. Let it go and begin to exist and live in the absence of fear. And this might be new, this might be unfamiliar, this might be very scary. It might be scary to be happy for a lot of people, because this contradicts their constant negative evaluation and judgment of their presence in life and how they really go about. In other words, and then they constantly are evaluating, judging, and then analyzing, where do I stand? What do I do? How do I improve? You know, and the analysis equals paralysis. In other words, too much living in your head this way, constantly battling the question and the challenge, becomes basically a paralysis in your life. So you need to let go of this overanalyzing and let it go. And this might be scary, and it might be saying, well, this is uncertain for me. I don't know how this is going to work out. Excellent, you're in the right place. Let go of that uncertainty and just begin to exist. And you might feel like you're floating. You might feel like you're tingling. You might feel a little bit of enthusiasm, excitement, and joy and freedom. This might be scary. It might be scary to be happy. It might be scary to put a smile on your face. It might be scary to live your life without judgment. It might be scary to think for yourself, feel for yourself, plan for yourself, and dream from yourself from this positive space. So, and that oftentimes comes from a space where you're not constantly being challenged by this person. So take them out of the equation 100%. Begin to experience this and allow yourself then to live, decide, and interact with others from this feeling. In the minute you get that challenge, don't react. Do not take the bait. Do not take the fear. When you see the fear dangling, when you see the carrot, don't grab for it. You see the challenge and you want to counter-react the challenge with more, reacting back or battling back, taking the challenge and then responding to their challenge. Don't take the challenge. Don't take the bait. Let it be. Let yourself be. And oftentimes, just living in the release of the fear or the absence of fear is enough. Sometimes that's the most powerful, positive thing you can do is to decide, is to let go of their challenge and their fear-based assessment in all their relationships. You are the boss of you. If it's new, it's familiar, start to let that resonate and begin to then live from that very happy, positive space and see how open and energetic your world becomes, and allow yourself to receive, because oftentimes victims of narcissists and psychopathic individuals have such a difficult time receiving the positive and then just letting it build up and accumulate within them, and then doing this on a continual basis so that the security begins to then roll over and that flows into your relationships versus the fear-based negative assessment of such emotionally manipulative individuals, such as we see presented with a narcissist or a psychopathic individual. It is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.